Hey everyone, welcome to the bag. If you're new, like, sub, share the video. It's the best thing you can do to help the channel out. Looking to bounce back today. Yesterday, just between the blowouts and just strange happenings, it was all an all around bad night. I didn't even go back and check off my list like I normally do, like last year, but I will get to it. Now, so with that being said, we do have 6 picks on the board. As I was trying to record this video, a lot of the picks I had up here included my demon pick. It wasn't even up on the board for like a half an hour, and they pulled it down already. It was D'Angelo Russell's demon pick for over 21.5 PRA. But they pulled all of his props down already, so I had to go through and pick a few new ones. Uh, the other prop I was waiting to see was what they're gonna have Norman Powell's points at, because they have him for assists and rebounds, but they didn't have a point prop for him yet, which is um, I guess typical Prize Picks. But it's one of the frustrating things is this, a lot of the props that tend to be juiced, like soon as Prize Picks catches wins, things like that, they tend to pull them down. But we do have some good ones up. Yeah, see, they got all these guys, but they don't have Norman Powell up here yet. He was the other one I'd be interested in, like points and assists on Norman Powell. So waiting to see that line, but yeah, that's why the blue light's on, because last night was just a cold night. Like, I didn't hit on any of my slips I played. It was just a very tilting night. Now the night before, I know some people had the same situations where they got hurt by the blowouts, but I was fortunate enough that most of my picks were Atlanta guys and like the Norman Powell over points and assists and things like that. So that all my slips hit. So hopefully we have a good night here again. So the first prop, I'm not sure when they put this up because they didn't have it earlier. They put it up sometime this morning, so I went ahead and put it up here. So we're looking at KCP over 1.5 3 pointers made. Yeah, he's been attempting a good amount of threes, and he's been making them here lately. So against Philadelphia, I'm not really expecting anything different. And we got Taurine Prince for more than 8 points. If there's one thing we know about Atlanta is that they do tend to get hit at the small forward, and same with Milwaukee. So run it back on the other side with DeAndre Hunter for more than 15 points. And given the game spread and everything, it's going to be a fairly close game. So anytime I've gone to Clint Capella, whether it was just for rebounds and assists, he hasn't let me down. So hopefully it don't start tonight. But we're looking at Clint Capella for over 10.5 rebounds and assists. Or if you want to just plan for over the rebounds, both look good. And then we do have an under. This one here obviously is risky because there's a lot of news up in the air. But this game here also is the only, according to spreads, blowout potential. But like I said, there's a lot of news around. So now I did have him under 8.5 rebounds, but they pulled it down and they lowered his line down to under over 8 rebounds. So that's why we're looking at under 14.5 rebounds and assists here. As you guys know, Porzingis is back. Horford's back and all that. And like I said, I think we still have some news with one or two of them Boston guys like in this game. So, but the under here is looking favorable. Well, at least on the rebounds it did. On the rebounds and assists, it still does. So, um, at least it's looking like he'll probably get around 12, 13, which would fall under anyhow. And then the other Atlanta guy I like is Trae Young for over 11.5 assists. We took him last game and he didn't disappoint. So, given it's supposed to be a close game again, We know Damian Lillard's a decent defender, so I think that'll just encourage Trey Young to throw more dimes in this one. And there's a couple other picks I like. Now, I don't tell people what to play or how to play. Even just playing two picks is a risk. That's why it's gambling. Nothing's ever guaranteed, but we of course do research and stuff and try to do breakdowns and things like that to make the best picks possible, or pick the best picks possible. Excuse me, is that's what we do. And some people are fortunate enough to have the tools and stuff like Outlier and stuff like that to help them. I personally don't have that. I just get an ear out there and see what people are talking about, do with a little bit of my own knowledge and research, and and then I do my picks. So yeah, that demon pick, man, I had that, like, that was the demon pick of the day. Unfortunately, it wasn't on the board very long. But out of these six, if I was like, because what I normally do is I'll play a two pick, and I always play more money on my two pick, and then I'll play, you know, a four or five pick flex usually. This is like kind of hedge myself a little bit with prize picks. Now I do have some good picks on Dabble as well, which if you guys are interested, I could give you those too. Excuse me. And then also be sure to check out Chalkboard, because that's the other side I play on, and you can adjust your own lines. So that's always nice. And Sleeper as well, if you want to check it out, because their payouts are a little bit better than prize picks. And especially with sites like Dabble, they always tend to have a much better pick on props than prize picks. But I of course still play on prize picks, and I do most of my content around prize picks. But definitely check out Dabble, and and Sleeper and Chalkboard. And speaking of which, if you're new, I'm gonna give you my code. Use this code, it'll help me out, and it'll help get you a nice bonus as well on prize picks. So that code is PR-D2PUOA8. And I'm not sure. It used to be that they give you 25. It might be 50 for using the code. I'm not sure, but either way, you get a nice little bonus to help you get started if you're new. And so yeah, check out some of the picks. Like, I don't tell people to lock this in, play all six or whatever. I leave that up to you guys. I try not to sell anybody on picks or anything. I just, like I said, play what you're comfortable with. If you don't like any of them, don't play any of them. So if I was gonna lock in like on my four flex, I would do like the Hunter, Clint Capella, Trey Young, and then just run it back on the other side with Taurean Prince for over 8 points. I think that would make a good four pick flex. Personally. But yeah, that's what we got as far as prize picks goes. Now the picks on Dabble are different, because of course they have props out that price picks don't have up. But a couple of the ones that I am playing over on Dabble is the KCP over 1.5 3-pointers, of course. DeAndre Hunter over 15 points. So those are two of the props here on prize picks that I do have in play on Dabble. As well as the Taurean Prince over 8 points. There's a little bit of juice there, so. And the rest of these are just off research and like game script. Like a lot of Atlanta, because just like it's gonna be a close game. We kind of know what to expect from these guys, and we know Milwaukee's not the best defensively and stuff like that. So yeah, so I feel pretty good about these. Hopefully you guys can put together some good slips out of these, and come back and make some money today. That's the whole point. Um, but yeah, I wish I could sign in to show you guys that I do put my money behind these picks. And so like last night, when we get a bad night like last night, I'm losing money too. But on good nights when we put out a majority of good picks, I'm also making money too. So. But yeah, that's it, guys. Yeah, if you're interested in me trying to do, because I did try to pull up Dabble on the browser here, but it won't let me. It says like basically want me to use the app, and I can't do that on this console. So otherwise, I would have pulled up Dabble for you guys and taken you over some of the Dabble stuff and put you on with some of the good picks over there that are going on right now. Like Damian, they did have Damian Lillard for under over 3.5 rebounds over there on Dabble, but of course they pulled that down after a little while. But it was at least available there at that line for a little while. So just things like that. All right, you guys are going to close it out with a prayer. Dear Lord, may you continue to bless us with the simplest of blessings, such as waking up tomorrow. And if you have a little hand in it, help us out today. We want to bounce back. Appreciate you, Lord. Amen. All right, guys, until next time, you know what it is. You know what to do. Get it back.